Hello everybody, in today's video I am going to be talking about Christian radicalization. And this is a pagan's advice, so you don't have to agree with everything I said in this video, or even agree with me at all, but you at least have to acknowledge that Christians are becoming radicalized. Now the disagreement is just how are they becoming more radicalized, okay? And for me, being a pagan and all, I feel it. And it's not just Christianity, it's also paganism. And it's not that people are becoming more religious, it's that the people who are already religious are becoming more religious. Okay? Like, it's getting to the point where instead of just becoming like, oh, just someone who's like really devout, who's really devout being like just somebody who's really into a particular religion in like a hardcore or extreme way. Or just a heavy way. But regardless. Right now, since I live in the United States, it's a Christian majority country. And I'm not really worried about pagans becoming radicalized because they're more of a minority. I'm more worried about Christians becoming paganized. Not paganized, but radicalized. I don't know why I said paganized. I shuffled my words for a second. But basically what I mean is because they're the current majority, people will see stuff like this. And right now it's kind of bad. But wait until it's like 10 or 20 years from now, when my generation, which by the way is Generation Z, if they have a lot of Christian radicalized people, they could use that to try to make theocracy or try to do discrimination or try to do things that you wouldn't deem Christian, like trying to call everything demonic or trying to basically use their form of discrimination, say for example, against somebody who's like another Christian or a Jew or a Muslim or obviously somebody like me or an atheist, you know? Like, it's not very Christian to be radicalized like that, you know? Like, it's getting to the point where it's like, if you're not a Christian, you're anti-American, especially in the country where I live. Now, you can apply this to the country where you live, even if you don't live in a Christian majority country. But don't let people, regardless of politics or faith or hell, even unrelated things like sports, you know? Don't let them become radicalized. Because any of that radicalization shit, it's gonna hit hard. And if you're in a country that's already like that, well, you're seeing it right before your eyes. And a lot of these people are just accepting of radicalization. Okay? They're accepting of belief in certain things. Like, it's getting to the point where there are Christians who will say, oh, you burned a criminal? Good. He was demonic anyway. And it could literally be somebody who was like really like Christian, say for example Roman Catholic, okay, Christians like that. Because if you constantly say stuff like, oh, I hate the pagans, I imagine people saying, oh, I hate the Catholics, or another example, oh, I hate the Orthodox, I hate the Protestant, or I hate the evangelical, you know, or Baptist. Those are just the Christian examples. I didn't say any other religions because where I live, well, besides paganism mostly, and I maybe mentioned a few others, but I don't remember clearly. I live in a Christian majority country. So I'm just going to mostly talk about it because that's what it is. And I am neo-pagan, meaning I am like a modernistic pagan. I'm not like a person who's like back to my Celtic or northern roots, things like that. I'm not that kind of guy. But I do respect those kind of people as long as they're not, using it to be racist or sexist or any real big time prejudice. But again, it is an issue. It is an issue. Like they're supporting what a lot of Christians tend to call gluttony or obesity. But also things I said maybe earlier in this video, abortion. I don't support abortion. I'm anti-abortion. Stuff like that. I want people to have a society and stuff like that, because people tend to forget that paganism also means that there's a sense of morals. They're like, oh, you don't have a sense of morals. That's pagan to not have a sense of morals. No, that's atheistic to not have a sense of morals. Okay? But don't get me wrong, if you're an atheist watching this video, I'm not trying to bash you on the head here. I am simply just trying to acknowledge the fact that having non-morals, or what is considered non-moralistic, is something that is associated with atheism. Because, as you know, there are a lot of radicalized Christians and just regular Christians that cannot tell the difference between an atheist and a pagan. And that line is especially blurred when they're radicalized. When they're normal, it's like, oh, yeah, I don't believe in that stuff. That's some weird stuff, but whatever. I understand now. Whereas radicalized, they're like, nope, you're a Satanist. Nope, you're a Satanist. You could literally be the most Christian person in the world. You could literally be Jesus Christ. And they're like, nope, you're not our form of Christian. No, nope. You can't do that. We're gonna kill you because you look like a Satanist cult Jew pagan. Like, what the fuck? But excuse me for the words here. Like me saying swear words or whatever. But regardless, don't let these people become radicalized. We don't need this. We don't want that. I don't want that. Anyway, if you're a Christian, you can let me know what you think. But yeah, it is really starting to become a problem with those radicalized Christians. Anyway, that's the end of this video. And since it's December and near Christmas, or Yule as I call it, Merry Christmas and Happy Yule. And just remember, stay ugly.